What first got me into comics? Commando war books. Commando war books are little digest size, war books I guess. Stories largely about the Second World War, British fighting the Germans or Americans fighting the Japanese or whatever. And you used to be able to buy them on Wellingborough Market from a guy probably next to a button stall or a record stall, and he had a box of little war books that I used to flick through on a Saturday, and I guess I was spending my pocket money, and I'd take home a couple of stories about pilots shooting the Luftwaffe out of the skies or the D-Day landings and stuff like that. But what keeps me excited really from a collector's point of view is going and finding some of those things that I might have missed 20 or 30 years ago when I was initially collecting a run of a title or books by a particular artist or writer, and finding that they've done something that I've overlooked. I'll give you a good example. I quite like an artist called Michael Golden, and I was aware that he developed a character called Bucky O'Hare. And I've got a few of the comics, but I hadn't realised until about a month or so ago that this character, Bucky O'Hare, first appeared in a comic called Echoes of Future Past. So that keeps me excited because now I'm thinking, right, okay, I'd like those in my collection. What event in comic history stands out for me the most? For me, it probably wasn't one event. It would be the run of Amazing Spider-Man from around about 238, which was the first appearance of the Hobgoblin villain. Nobody knew who he was. He'd been under the pay of the Kingpin for a while. 252, we get the first appearance of Spider-Man's black costume, which is the first time that Spider-Man had changed his colours from the traditional red and blue. I mean, he's had loads and loads of costume designs and redesigns and colours nowadays, but this was a real kind of shift, and added to the fact that there was this mysterious kind of power to this black suit that it kind of had a mind of its own. So you get Hobgoblin in issue 238, Death in 250, you get the first black costume in 252, and then by the time we get to issue 300, which is a landmark issue, we understand that this black costume has got a life of its own. It's a symbiote entity. Peter Parker's got rid of it with the help of the Fantastic Four, but it's found a new host. It's found a disgruntled, I think, ex-Daily Bugle employee, Eddie Brock. It takes over Brock and he becomes Venom. So this whole run for, I guess it's probably 5 or 6 years, hasn't just got one epic moment, it's got a number of epic moments. There probably wasn't a bad issue in over 60 issues. Thanks for watching the channel. Please like and subscribe, hit the button below, it helps us a lot. Cheers.